What is going on, everybody? This is your man, Big B, along with Big G. Welcome to Steelers Almighty and the Big Show. Thanks, everybody, for showing up like you guys always do. Appreciate that, man. We have got a wild show today, man. We got a lot going on. First, evaluating the cornerback room. We'll talk a little bit about that. Have a little bit from Darius Slay Jr. on what he thinks about JPJ. We'll discuss that. Rodgers says this is it. That basically this is his last year playing in the National Football League. That's why he signed a one-year deal. We're going to discuss all of that. And then a quick look, since this is Rodgers' last year, a quick look at what me and G believe 2026 quarterback draft, a top 5 list, a way too early quarterback top 5 list that what we think right now. So we got a lot to discuss. A lot is going on. We appreciate everybody being in here like you guys always are and always do, man. Thank you for showing out. I see that the members are showing up. Jimmy K is here. What's going on, Mr. Jimmy K? Mr. S. Palmer is here. We appreciate your awareness and accountability is in the house. What is going on? Mr. Steeler Lee is in the house. What is happening? I appreciate all of you guys being in here, man. Thank you guys for showing up like you do. Big G, what is going on, my man? How's it going?
Man, listen, man. First of all, it's glad to be back in podcast land because I took a little hiatus, man. But little did them Steeler fans know I was keeping an eye on them, man. And we got a bunch of diabolical haters that's out there in Steeler land and podcast land. And y'all gonna have to make a decision. Either you're with us or you're against us. But you can't be on one side of it or on the other side talking about the Steelers is my team and wishing all the bad things in the world happen to the Steelers and only the Steelers. So, no, it don't work like that. But, man, I'm happy to be back in podcast land. We got a great show tonight. We're going to be talking crazy. Me and B already done had a little rough stuff going on behind the scenes. I wish y'all could have seen it. But there was some stuff going on back there. We was moving some furniture.
Absolutely.
We're about to get it in now. We're about to get it in, bro. Let's go.
About to. Art's baby doll, Mr. Tom, and Mr. Alonzo Dunn. Appreciate you guys being in here. Thank you guys for showing up like you always do, man. Like I said, we got a good show. So we're ready to get going. Again, as always, people, you know exactly what to do if you want to help support the channel. Super chats are wide open. Again, memberships are also available for anybody in here that is not a member. You can sign up for it. As you've already seen, members always get their comments, questions, or rants put up on the screen, just like super chats do. So if you want to become a member and help support it that way, and you know how to do it, there'll be a link in the comments and on the front of the page. So we appreciate you guys as always. But remember, continue to hit that like button. We want to get as many people in here as possible tonight. So hit the like button. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. Let's get after it. A couple of quick little hits here first, Big G. Arbitration. There's some stuff that we found out a little bit starting to come to fruition. We're finding out some truths about the NFL and what they did, Big G, as far as, encourage teams to collude regarding guaranteed contracts. After Deshaun Watson got his big contract from those idiotic, just downright stupid Cleveland Browns, all of a sudden the league was like, hold on. And they started to push back and they found collusion. There's emails, conversations, text messages where they said they want to push back on giving all this guaranteed money. Now, there's no proof that teams actually did it, but there is proof that the NFL actually they colluded with teams. They mentioned, they told them, they said, hey, we don't want to do that, and we don't want to give out all this guaranteed money to all these people. Let's slow it down a little bit, regardless of what the Cleveland Browns did. First off, let me just get your first thoughts about that.
Well, the issue is, I find it almost impossible. On one hand, that they said they found the evidence, but then they don't have no proof that it actually went down. They're holding on to information. They're holding back on information. They know good and damn well who did it. Yes. They know what teams did it. They know, and I got a feeling One of them was them hating ass Dallas Cowboys, but we'll just keep going on down the road. But there's a lot of teams out there, man. They didn't feel that Deshaun Watson fully guaranteed contract, right? So
Right.
now in turn, of course, the NFL is going to protect their product, right? Because it's a business. And they're going to say, look, fools, because y'all just did something dumb. Don't everybody in the league get to doing this? So they contacted the owners and the leaderships of the different teams, said, look, man, no more of this, that, and this. And then they found out from an investigation standpoint, which probably is a third party that came in and took a look at it and was like, oh, y'all's on some other. But that's the owners wanting to stay and keep their bread. And I'm not mad at them because it's a business. But on the other hand, man, don't kill the trend, because I'm quite sure that there was other teams out there that was willing to fully guarantee contracts for certain guys if they could have got them. But because the NFL as a whole, especially from the office, of the NFL said, no, we can't have this because it'll mess the game up. So I believe it, and it's shame on the NFL, but I understand it because it's a business and they want to make money. So I get that too, bro. I get both sides of the story.
I mean, I understand. It's just, the contracts, it was Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray, and Russell Wilson were all up for deals. They're wanting guaranteed money, and the NFL pushed back on them as far as giving them fully guaranteed contracts. And it's odd that those guys didn't get guaranteed contracts, but then a couple years later, you give a guy like Kirk Cousins gets a guaranteed deal. Now, granted, it's not for nearly as much money, but why are you guaranteeing Kirk Cousins anything? But that's a different conversation for a different day. But again, just terrible decisions. But the collusion is what I think is absolutely funny. And then next up, a little quick hit. Steelers did check in on Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah,
they checked in on Jalen Ramsey. They made the phone calls, but there's no deal. Adam Schefter said the Steelers did their homework, but didn't pursue it. To me, that kind of sounds like Miami was asking for too much. And if they're, here's the thing. The Steelers are in no rush. They can wait this out for a little while during this dead period and during training camp. They got an opportunity to wait, Big G. But yeah, no second round picks, not even a third round pick, a fourth rounder for Jalen Ramsey. That's all I'd be willing to give at this point in time. And it sounds like Miami must have wanted a bundle, and the Steelers just said no, which they should. They should. They shouldn't. They got him over a barrel. He doesn't want to be there. They're in salary cap hell. Wait it out. Wait it out.
Yeah. I guess the only thing about the Jalen Ramsey deal is that to me personally, based on the multiple picks that the Steelers have in the third and the fourth round next season, there's not that much difference between a third and a fourth round pick to me, right? And if the asking price was a third, they should have went ahead and did it. Now, does Jalen Ramsey not want to be there? Absolutely. But now this gives other teams an opportunity to come in and negotiate, and maybe the Dolphins can mess around and fleece one of those teams, especially one of those Los Angeles teams, the Chargers or the Rams, which he's trying to get to anyway. Right. So now by being patient and not being aggressive to get Jalen Ramsey, what position does that put us in? Do we move from where we was in the catbird seat now because of Omar Khan and not wanting to give up a third? Does that put us where we're third or fourth on the depth now to get him? So, and I think the Steelers need to do everything that they possibly can do to put themselves into position to win in 2025. So a third or a fourth round pick for Jalen Ramsey it's the same thing. You're not going to pick up that big of a player because you got multiple picks in the third, multiple in the fourth. So I would have went ahead and did it. But man, I'm not the owner. I'm not the GM. So it ain't my team, and I just got to be patient and roll with them, B.
No, I totally understand. That's kind of my thing too. Is that they didn't make the deal, and if you did make the deal, because they called looking to make a deal, clearly, and it just sounds like Miami was asking for too much. And I've said it before, and we'll discuss that here when we talk about Aaron Rodgers is like going all in, but you can't give up your future. You can't sacrifice so much of your future to try to go in all in for just this season. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do that. So, but we're going to get to that here in just a minute. Before I do, though, hey, people, my stuff came in. I ordered the Steelers Almighty shirt. It came in. Steelers Almighty shirt. I got my mug. It came in. So anybody that hasn't gotten anything or maybe hasn't ordered anything, it is a real thing. So make sure you go to Steelers Almighty Shop. Go pick you up your merchandise. It is out there and available, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the shirts, good quality. This glad, you know how I drink my water. I had to have me one. This is outstanding. So just make sure that you guys understood again that Steelers Almighty Shop. Make sure you guys go there and pick up your Steelers Almighty merchandise. You got your Thunderbird shirts. We got hats, glasses, everything, man. We got a lot. So I'm trying to get Big G off the dime so he finally go pick up something. So we'll get it all figured out, man. We'll get it figured out.
I was trying to negotiate behind closed doors.
See?
I mean, I just wanted to become the president. That's all I want to be is the president of the Thunderbird Club, man. Just make me the president. That's it. And I'm straight. You know, I'm straight. I'm trying to negotiate, man.
Absolutely. Nah, I got you, man. We appreciate you. We got our first super chat of the night for our man, Alonzo Dunn. Would love to have Jalen Ramsey. I'll give a third. Can't fleece everybody. I mean, I get that. A third, and not to mention, we should have 2/3 because of compensatory pick. So we should have an extra third. It makes sense. It makes sense because a lot of people are like, hey, but we need those compensatory picks to move up for a quarterback. I'm like, guys, if the Steelers are moving up for a quarterback, and obviously we'll get to talk about that later, it's going to take multiple first-round picks.
Facts.
And that means this year, and it's not going to be, hey, we're going to give you our first-round pick this year and then give you a third-round pick. That's not going to do it. You're not going to move up that much to do that. Things have changed from what they were before. So a third-rounder makes a whole lot of sense. Makes a whole lot of sense. So another super chat from Rhodes. He says, best Steelers channel on YouTube, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. We do our best here at Steelers Almighty, especially on the big show, man. So we appreciate you saying that and supporting us the way that you do.
Yeah.
Supporting us the way that you do. So Let's get into it. First segment, Big G. The Steelers cornerback room. Is it ready for 2025? Like we just discussed, it seems like the Jalen Ramsey that door is shut. But again, it may be shut for now until maybe the Dolphins get a little bit more desperate. And you know what happens when teams get desperate. You can try to fleece them. Now, Alonzo Dunn pointed out you can't fleece everybody, and he's right.
Facts.
He's right. It just depends on how much you want to go get. What are you trying to do? And a third-round pick for Jalen Ramsey, to be quite honest, it's not out of the question. You know, we want to give a fourth, but to give a third for that type of talent, it's not out of the question. You know, he'll be 31 at the end of October, not old, can still run, can still play press. He can also play slot corner. The man is talented. He can do a lot of things. I'm not saying he's the top of the line corner anymore, the best corner in the league. I'm not saying that, but he's not out of the top 10. Facts. And if you're telling me the Steelers can get a top 10 corner for a third-round pick, that might be something that we have to look at, Big G.
Man, the corner, we got Echols, we got Slay. Listen, I'm just going to be blunt. This all depends on JPJ. If JPJ steps up, because we keep talking about the potential that JPJ has, the quality cornerback he can be, how we feel like we stole him because he fell to this early second round versus being a first-round pick, how he's got the pedigree from his dad being a Steeler and all whatever else. JPJ's got to step up and show that he's a number one cornerback. Because, in my opinion, this year is a contract year for him. If he doesn't do what he needs to do this year, bro, we got to go back in the draft and go get one. So if the Steelers brass feels that JPJ is that number one dude, then I might be okay with the cornerback room. But if he's not showing that he can be a number one, and why do you got to keep bringing in old heads to show him what to do, like Patrick Peterson, like Slay, then something's going on over there, bro. We need a solid number one. Now, we got to me up a rotational slot that might work in Echols. Beanie Bishop might get some playing time or might get playing time diminished. I know his body changed tremendously, but you can't grow. You're not going to be 6'1" all of a sudden. He's a smaller guy.
Correct.
So are we okay? Corey Trice is in and out. Bro, I don't know. And I think in order for us to play the defense that we play in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, you got to have dog corners, bro. If you don't have dudes that can shut it down on the outside, you in trouble. You in trouble, bro.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The question is out for me about that cornerback room, man.
Well, the one thing about it is I think the Steelers are going to have to draft a corner higher than this. I thought they should have addressed it this past year, and they didn't until the 7th round. They're going to have to do that sooner than later. I'm not saying it takes precedence over quarterback or wide receiver, but after that, you need to address the cornerback position and go get you another corner that kind of addresses the position. But you're right. Even if JPJ does play well, fine, great, he played well, but we need some other guys to play well too. So Steeler Lee has a good point as far as Ramsey. He says the trade deadline, be patient.
No.
My thing about that, where are the Steelers going to be by the time the trading deadline gets here? I understand the premise as far as being patient, but it's like if we can get them sooner, we should, especially going into the season.
Yeah.
I don't think we should wait on that. Super chat here from Alonzo Dunn says Brian McFadden has the Steelers ranked as a top 5 cornerback room right now.
No way in hell. Hell no. Stop that.
High, man. That's a little high.
Hell no.
I like Slay. I like JPJ. And Eccles is I think is going to be better than what people think, but that might be a little high. I don't dislike it, but I think 5 is a little high. I think it's a little high. But we'll see. We'll see.
They might have creeped in the top 10. They might have creeped in the top 10, bro.
No,
maybe,
top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Top 10 for sure. I just think 5 is high. I think 5 is a little high. But we do have some audio here of Mina Kimes interviewed Darius Slay, and he had some words to talk about JPJ. So we're going to bring that up here in case anybody didn't hear that. We're going to bring that up now for you guys to listen to.
What do you see in Joey Porter Jr., who's going to be playing opposite you?
Oh, great, man. Great. He's got amazing abilities, man. He got a gift that I didn't have to be 6'2" or whatever and be able to play corner and long arms, and he's very physical.
I
He
think
can
it went
run. I just got there, so we
is.
trying to get his they say he can't catch, but we're gonna fix that. We're gonna catch the rock this year. I have a good resume with younger guys trying to help build them, so that's my job. That's his I'm just here to help him, do everything I can to make sure he succeed at what he does, and try to get him really, to be one of the best in the game.
I mean, that right there, I like that approach. Darius Slay coming in and helping. I love that. That's what he's willing to do.
Yeah.
JPJ needs it. He needs a mentor, but like again, good rookie year. It wasn't a horrible year last year, G.
No.
It wasn't horrible. It just wasn't the step that we all thought he was going to take. I think a lot of people wanted to immediately say that he was a shutdown corner following the best wide receivers around, on a weekly basis. And that just wasn't the case. Now, does he need to get to that point? Maybe. Do the Steelers don't really do that, but they haven't really had a guy like that. But the thing about it is that he just needs to be the best Joey Porter Jr. that he can be. Up his game this year. Stop the panicking, when the ball's in the air. Trust what you are doing. Trust your technique, all that good stuff. And if he does, G, I think we got a shot. I think we got a shot at having somebody here.
I agree, bro. But to me, the issue with JPJ, man, the number one issue, he's too damn handsy. Yeah. They need to put them mitts on him during practice weeks and all whatever else, and him learn how to fight the ball without grabbing onto somebody. If you're a grabber in the NFL, the word's going to get on the street about who you are and what you do, right? And now you're going to be targeted by the refs by them saying, "Look, this dude's handsy in A, B, C, and D," and they're going to start. You're going to see yellow flags everywhere.
Right.
So the issue is he's just too damn handsy. Stop grabbing. You got the length, the size, the speed to be able to stay with basically any wide receiver in the NFL. You don't have to grab. And that's where I think we need to see the progression from last year to this year, B. Stop being so handsy, bro. You got to play solid defense without grabbing. Just got to do it.
Absolutely. Awareness celebrates 2 months of membership. Thank you for supporting the channel, Mr. Awareness and Accountability. Says JPJs needs to show more discipline. He holds too much. Yes, he does. He holds too much. Just got to trust his technique. Got to trust his technique. Once he starts trusting that, I think it'll be okay. I think we will be okay. Alonzo Dunn says with the super chat, said I think he needs some more boxing gloves. Exactly.
That's facts.
You know, people look at that like that's old school, and it is, but it's effective, G. Every time you talk about technique, you bring up boxing gloves, and you are dead on, brother. It works. It absolutely works. I know it's an old school technique, but it works, man. You can't grab with boxing gloves on.
B, I remember they used to do that to us in high school, and at JUCO they did that to us. We had dudes that was get penalties for holding and all whatever else. Go over there and put them damn gloves on so you can't grab nothing. You got to block, you know. And so you had to fix your technique. You had one or two things. You had to get stronger or fix your technique, or either way, you was going to the bench. And so, you know, I listen. I wasn't trying to get no boxing gloves on ever. I wasn't trying to do that, bro. I was going to handle my business with my technique because I was good, strong enough. So that's all he needed to do. Because I think, like I said, he's got everything else. He grabs.
He grabs. He panics when the ball is in the air versus going attacking the ball. It's almost like he attacks the receiver. Well, go attack the ball. And I know it's because he doesn't have, you know, he doesn't catch the ball very well. I get that. That's why he's not a receiver. But you still got to go attack the ball. You can't attack the man because that's where you're getting all these penalties. Steeler Lee brings up something because I talked about this last night as far as slot corner and who we could possibly bring in. He's talking about Mike Hilton can't cover anymore. Exactly. Mike Hilton is not the guy. I know there was some talk about possibly bringing him in. I'm like, did y'all watch him last year with the Bengals? Because if you watched him last year with the Bengals, there is no way that you want him to come to Pittsburgh and be a slot corner for you. He was as bad as Cam Sutton, and we know how bad Cam Sutton was last year. Mike Hilton was as bad as he was, which is insane. So, no, I get it. He was a stick. Plus, when he left and went to the Bengals, all he did was badmouth the Steelers.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're going to do that, then we don't want you anyway. Not to mention, now you can't cover. Well, thank you for your services, but we don't need your services anymore. So,
Hey, B, remember the movie Major League? And remember Wesley Snipes' dude? And he kept popping the ball up in the air. And he said, bro, every time you pop the ball up in the air, you got to give me push-ups. Yes. He was doing that in the game. Yeah. I think if Joey Porter Jr. gets a holding penalty, he need to do some push-ups right there on the thing. Or do some up downs or go down and touch the goal line and run back. You got to do something to show me that you're going to stop doing it. Yeah. So I know that's fictional, but he needs some type of consequence for him to get holding penalties. He's got to have it. And I think that would change his whole mentality. And maybe Slay can help him with that. Maybe Slay can be like, look, bro, you ain't got a hold, bro. You don't have to do that.
Well, and that's part of it. You know, my man Mike over in the comments brings up a good point. You know, we're talking about the supporting cast, you know, Corey Trice. And my man Howard said the same thing. And I'd said it last year, is that Corey Trice was considered a better football player, a better corner than Joey Porter Jr. before he got hurt his last year at Purdue. Had better technique. The problem with Corey Trice, every year since then, he has been hurt and missed significant time on the field. I'm sorry, you can't trust that. You know, until this man puts in a full season without being injured, that's not a guy that you can rest your laurels on because the man keeps getting hurt, unfortunately. Then you look at Brandon Echols. Brandon Echols played decent football over with the Jets last year. He's got the ability to play slot corner. He looked good in OTAs and minicamp. So watch out for him. And then we got Beanie Bishop. Obviously, we got James Pierre and McMichael. Those guys. If McMichael and James Pierre are on the field, the Steelers are in trouble. Let's just be honest.
We cooked.
But at Echols and Beanie Bishop, look, Beanie struggled, had his moments, but overall wasn't spectacular. That's the position. If Echols can play slot corner, I think he beats out Beanie Bishop, Big G. I do. Now, the thing is, he didn't play a ton of that with the Jets. He played some. You know, he's got the ability to do it. Is that who we want to rest our laurels on, a guy that doesn't have a whole lot of time? I guess my answer would be yeah, because we put Beanie Bishop, undrafted free agent, out there, and he was a rookie. So if we were willing to let that guy do it, I got to think the Steelers be willing to let a guy that's played in the National Football League and had success, we would be able to let him do it as well.
B, I think the question comes down to this, man. Last year, we was in the nickel 58% of the snaps, right? Are we going to be in the nickel again this year, 58% of the snaps? Because I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not comfortable in a sub-package defense 58% of the time, bro. That means you can't get their ass off the field. Or your offense can't sustain a drive long enough and your defense gets back out there and you're gassed and the opposing team offense knows that and they're like, look, bro, we got to have DBs back there because somebody's ass going to get cooked underneath. So I'm not comfortable with that 58% of the snaps and no nickel, man. And I'm not comfortable with that. I want to play base and let's see what we do. But you can't. You're right, man. You just can't.
Well, you can't just play base. In the league, it's like 74% of the time. The problem is sub packages, you have to match up with personnel groups.
Right.
So if teams come out in 11 personnel, what are you going to do? You can't go out there in base 3-4 defense. You're going to get beat. So you can't do that. You got to match up personnel. So, and that's what teams do these days. Even the Ravens. The Ravens do a lot of 12 personnel. But the difference is you still have to match up in nickel or dime, or not necessarily dime, but you can play safety nickel. The difference is because those tight ends split out. They're not always inline tight ends. So you have to match up personnel groups because if you don't, you can't have your safeties unfolding to try to cover, slot guys. That's just not going to work on a consistent basis. That's not what you're trying to do. You don't have enough DVs back there to cover everybody. You got to match it up. And that's just the way the league is going these days, is that these personnel groups, you just got to match them, because if you don't, you're going to get – that's what the Steelers didn't used to do. Nope. They didn't used to try to match up. Well, now that they're doing it, well, okay, you have to. At least that's something that the Steelers are doing, that's not so vanilla. Now, the imagination off of that, bring a slot corner, bring a safety blitz, a corner blitz, a twist up front, linebackers, A gaps, double A gaps, twist double A gap, a lot of stuff. There's a ton of things that they can do, but they got to have the slot corner. They got to have that, and I think that's where it gets started. But how much do you think, and going back to Darius Slay and JPJ, how much do you think his presence is going to help the overall secondary?
It should help him more than Patrick Peterson did because Slay can still play. I don't think when we brought Patrick Peterson in, he couldn't play. I saw it right away. I was like, no, he's a little long in the tooth. He don't have it anymore. Slay still has it. So that presence will help him. I don't know necessarily about a technique standpoint, but from a confidence standpoint. Because, corners got to have short memories, B. They get cooked one time, and if they out there sulking and pouting, and next thing you know, and some receiver done went for 9 catches, 174 yards, and 2 touchdowns on them. So you got to have a short memory. And so Slay can talk to him about, look, man, this is what you did wrong on this. This is what I need you to do moving forward. Especially when it comes to X's and O's, and they get on the sideline with those Apple tablets and get to circling and showing him like, look, bro, this is what you need to do, A, B, C, and D. So I think it'll help him a lot. And to be honest, B, it might be the best corner he played with so far in his short career.
Oh, without question.
Yeah. I'm like, this might be the best dude you done played with. So if that's the case, you can learn from that. And you get confidence when you got a guy opposite of you. It's almost like me and you. We got confidence because you like B knows like G got it. I'm like B got it. I already know. I ain't got to worry about what's going on over there. I know he's going to take care of business. So it works like that, bro. And I think that's what's going to happen with Slay and JPJ. They got to have confidence in each other enough to do what they need to do.
Yeah. I think that's part of what minicamp was, OTAs, training camp's going to be. It's just a lot of learning, a lot of teaching, and getting comfortable with each other. I think it's something's going to happen. CID doesn't have the confidence. He says adjusting the D, first of all, pause, during a game with Mike Tomlin as head coach, you're hitting the Thunderbird. I mean, he's got a point. Mike Tomlin doesn't make a ton of adjustments, man. He got to make more adjustmts in game adjustments. You have to be able to adjust on the fly. How many times did we hear him get interviewed at halftime and say, well, they did some stuff. We weren't prepared for it, and it took us a minute before we got – I'm like, took you a minute? Come on, man. What are you doing? We saw if we could see it on the screen, you got to be able to see it down there on the damn field. Make adjustments in game. Got to get better at that. Alonzo Dunn said Patrick P was hot dog water. Was he even that? Was he even that, Alonzo? Was he even hot dog water? I'm not sure that he was.
He was dumpster juice, man.
And it started the first game against the 49ers. Brandon Ayuk put him in a blender and just chopped him up to little bitty pieces. It was disgusting to watch.
Yeah.
But we got to get somebody else. We got to get somebody else. So Wild Bill has a good comment here. He says, next year we will be in the same position at corner. Get Ramsey for 2 or 3 years. Exactly. That was my whole thing, because if you get Ramsey, Ramsey's under contract. Like, he's not – his contract isn't up this year. Like, he's under contract. Now, you're going to have to restructure it because, you know, his cap hits get stupid after this year. But, yeah, you get Ramsey and keep him here for 2 or 3 years and still draft the guy.
Yeah.
Just because you address the position doesn't mean you can't draft somebody behind him. I think the Steelers got to be able to do that. And just make it a priority. Arch Baby Doll's got a great point. Defensive schemes need imagination. Absolutely, G. Yeah. How much imagination do they need, G?
A whole lot. Yeah. Listen, man, Blitzburg, we're known for Blitzburg, bruh. You know what Blitzburg was about? You didn't know who was coming. You had no idea who was gonna come and try to kill your quarterback. They might start out with 8 in the box, drop to 5, and the next thing you know, they still get sent at 7. Because we had chess pieces that could move around and do all kind of stuff, especially with the listen, I'm so frustrated with the outside rush in position in Pittsburgh because I'm used to seeing Joey Porter Jr. I'm used to seeing Woodley. I'm used to seeing Harrison. I'm used to seeing dogs drop on the outside, and you don't know if they blitz it or not, and they drop them in coverage. The quarterback's looking for the hot read. He's like, oh, shit, I can't throw it over there. So you know, and then now he's getting killed because 3 dudes is coming this way. So you have to move not just the cornerbacks around, move around the defensive scheme, but those rush ends can't put their hand in the ground all the time and go get the quarterback. You take the ability for the defense to be spontaneous and they not know what's coming. They can predict it. They know what to do. So yeah, we gotta mix it up on defense, bro. We got to. And I can't stand them ends with their hand in the ground. I can't take it. Can't take it, bro. I can't, man. It drives me bananas, bro.
Awareness and accountability brings up a good point here. He says, I hope we can mix the D up this year. Tomlin's D is starting to look like the coach we don't talk about on this show. Not just this show, accountability and awareness, or awareness and accountability. Not on this channel. We don't talk about a former offensive coordinator. We don't bring his name up on this channel. And you're right. It's starting to look pretty basic like that. We got to get back. I think a lot of it was he didn't necessarily trust the corners last year. He's going to need to trust the corners this year, and we got to do a lot of more exotic stuff. So we got to do a lot more exotic stuff. So we'll see exactly what can happen.
B, why they over there in the chat and everybody talking about no Diddy and pause? And it says, y'all going to make me get my sign. I'm looking around for it. I can't find my no doubt sign. They over there talking about no Diddy this and that. Y'all need to chill out over there. I'm going to get the no doubt on you.
You know the chat. Chat been drinking Thunderbird early tonight. It's hot all over the country, and they've been trying to cool off by drinking Thunderbird. So Lonzo Dunn says Tomlin's DNA is all over the – oh, my God. What is – Jiminy Christmas. What are we doing? Pause.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Lord have mercy, Alonzo Dunn. Jeez.
I didn't think I was going to have to do it for this show, man. But, man, come on now. Y'all about to get the no doubt. I'm looking everywhere for that bad baby, man. I ain't had it out in a long time, man. Come on now. Man, go ahead, B. I'm going to find it. I'm going to find that sign, bro.
Man, it is wild in here tonight, boy. I love y'all. Let's move on, man. Let's move on. So, Aaron Rodgers today, you know, he's on the Pat McAfee Show. It looks like he's going to pick up doing his Tuesday appearance on the Pat McAfee Show. And he came on today and he had some interesting comments to talk about. We're going to play that sound for you here and let you know exactly what Aaron Rodgers said today.
Aaron, great to see you. Great catching up. It feels as though since you signed with the Steelers, it's been, I won't say more candid, but it does feel as though there's been a different, vibe from you. Is it, safe to say that this is your last year playing? As someone who, wants to savor everything, I would like to know when it is your last year, just because every time you're running through that tunnel, it'd be incredible just to say, like, hey, let's make sure we really appreciate what's going on here. Is that something you've thought about? Is that something that you know for sure? Or are you also just kind of taking it week by week, seeing how your body's feeling and seeing how the mind feels as you go throughout the season?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a 1-year deal. Steelers didn't need to, put any extra years on that or anything. So, this was really about finishing with a lot of love and fun and peace for the career that I've had. I mean, I played 20 freaking years. It's been a long run, and I've enjoyed it. And what better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in the city that expects you to win.
Congratulations, man.
Hell yeah.
That's a tough decision to get through.
So there you have it. Steeler Lee, you're right. That was a long-ass winded question. Lord have mercy. Having said all of that, it's Aaron Rodgers' last year. I mean, he said it was his last year. Somebody I know earlier in the chat said, well, he didn't say it was his last year playing football, just last year in Pittsburgh. No, the guy asked him, this is his last year playing football. So here's my thing. Pittsburgh Steelers, you have a 41-year-old quarterback that can still play a little bit. As I said, if you all didn't see any of the breakdowns that I did some breakdowns on our man Aaron Rodgers from last season, throwing the ball over the middle. Go check it out. He can throw that football over the middle. He can still do it. 41 years old quarterback. You're going to draft a quarterback next year. You've set yourself up with a ton of draft picks. Let's start there first, though, G. What are your thoughts because with Aaron Rodgers being his last year?
It should be. It should be. Aaron Rodgers is long in the tooth. He doesn't really have anything else to prove. I think he wanted to end his career in an established franchise and give himself an opportunity to win. He's had a great career, but for him to extend his career longer than this 1 year, something spectacular would have to happen in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. AFC Championship game, Super Bowl run, something like that in order for him to get in position to want to come back for a year. But I understand it, right? And there shouldn't be pressure on him to have to play beyond the 2025 season, in my opinion. I think the deal should be that, okay, we're going to see how this year looks. If you're saying you're done with playing football, that's fine. But moving forward, and we have to draft a quarterback in 2026, B. We have to. If we don't, it's a problem. It's a problem.
Well, here's my thing about it is even if he has a long run, before we hadn't heard Aaron Rodgers say that this was his last year, so none of us knew. So, we had the speculation of, well, hey, what if he plays great? What if the Steelers make a run in the playoffs? Does he come back another year? Well, he answered that question. He said, no, this is it, and even if he does go on a long run, he's saying no. I like that, and that's a good point that Steeler Lee says is that he'd be straight up and honest, just like we were with him during the offseason and he was with us. Hey, guys, I want to play one more year. I want to end on a good note. Now, later on in the interview, somebody asked him about that. He said it wasn't necessarily about that. He was lying. He wants to end up on a better note than what he ended up on with the Jets, which is fine. I think it's fine. I like that approach. But my thing about it is that I think the man is out to prove that he can still play and just wants to leave. But let's flip the script. Should the Steelers be all in, and are we equipped to go all in for this season to try to go win a Super Bowl, G? Are the Steelers equipped to do that?
No, not. We still need a wide receiver too.
Mm-hmm.
We still have questions at cornerback. We still have issues with the depth in the offensive line. Now, could we do those things between now and the start of the season? Yes. Are we equipped to win a playoff game? Yeah, we're equipped. We're equipped to win a playoff game. But to be in real contention in AFC, where you have to deal with the diabolical Baltimore Ravens, you got to deal with the Buffalo Bills, you got to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs, you got to deal with the Houston Texans, whose legitimate teams are in the AFC. You got to get more pieces to put yourself in position to win. Could we win a playoff game? Yeah. Hell, we was 10-7 last year with trash quarterback play, and then we just fell apart at the end because our quarterback was washed. I don't think Rodgers is the same thing as Russell Wilson.
No, I don't think so either.
If the Steelers put themselves in position to add a wide receiver too, get another cornerback, then maybe we can go all in. But right now, no. And it's fair because Rodgers really is, to be honest, B, a true bridge quarterback. In my opinion, he's the bridge to the next guy. And I'll take Aaron Rodgers to be in the bridge versus just, throwing anybody out there and expecting good things to happen in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Now, here's the thing, is that the situation is that the Steelers can go all in. Are we equipped to go all in right now? No. But the Steelers can still have that mindset and do it without sacrificing the future. For instance, and I talked about this last night, they have the ability to just go sign a wide receiver off the street, a wide receiver 2 off the street. They have the ability to go do that. You're not giving up any draft capital. That's not sacrificing your future. They have the ability. Let's just say they do trade for Jalen Ramsey. Let's just say they give a 3rd-round pick. Well, they're going to have 2 3rd-round picks. So you're not sacrificing your future by going and getting a guy that, again, he's not just a 1-year rental in Pittsburgh either. He's going to be in Pittsburgh for at least 2 to 3 years, probably 3 years in Pittsburgh. So there's that. There's still guys out there that the Steelers could go sign to be, now, I don't know about tackles, but guards for sure to strengthen the depth on the offensive line. There's some tackles that are out there. I don't know if you necessarily call them quality tackles, but there's still some guys out there that are available for that. So the Steelers can be all in for this season and make moves to go all in, G, and still not sacrifice the future, because that's my only drawback is like, hey, let's not go trade for somebody and give up 2nd-round draft picks for people that may or may not be here in a year. And that kind of stuff doesn't make sense, but they have that ability. Now, again, that's wishful thinking out there that everything comes to fruition, but it's not impossible. And it's not even a crazy dream, G, to even think something like that. It's not like it's something that's outlandish that the Steelers would have to do. These are not outlandish things. These are just things that you have to put forth. And I think they have the ability, and I'm still not counting out Omar Khan and doing that, G.
Yeah. Well, B, listen, we don't have to even necessarily pick a wide receiver 2 up off the street. Trade for one. You got 12 freaking picks. You've already said this. I agree with you in totality with this. You're going to have to give up multiple 1st rounds if you expect to get in the top 10 to get a quarterback. You're not going to be able to take your 1st round and package a bunch of 2nds or 3rds and all whatever else to move up that far to get a player. You're going to have to give up. You're going to have to make a decision next year. We're going to get to that in a segue, where you're going to have to give up multiple 1st-round picks if you feel you've identified your franchise quarterback in the top 10. So we got all these picks, and I know that they're trying to make sure that they continue to build a 53-man roster to insert the franchise quarterback. But, bro, why hold on to him when you got a guy that could possibly do some damage for you in the playoffs, and all you need to do is get him a piece here and a defensive piece there, and it's time to roll? I think if the Steelers add a cornerback, if they add Jalen Ramsey and we get a legit number 2 wide receiver without any injury or if total improvement in the offensive line, we're there with all of them. I'm not scared of Buffalo. I'm not scared of Kansas City. I'm not scared of Baltimore. I'm not scared of Houston. We could go tick for tack with him because we got a quarterback that can play. But I don't know if the Steelers, from a mentality standpoint, is ready to do that. I don't know if they're ready to say, okay, let's just give up draft capital, get a wide receiver 2, and get a corner, and then say, let's play. I don't know.
Right.
They're relevant when the rebuild has been the story the whole way. And so is this still them the continuation being relevant with a rebuild? Because we've been rebuilding, hell, I'd say 20 years in my mind.
Right.
Like after Bill Roethlisberger walked out, yeah. But even before then, we was rebuilding. So
Right.
I think they should push all in and just go get 2 pieces, bro. I think they should go get 2 pieces, get the cornerback, get the wide receiver 2, and let's line up and play. Because I think Rodgers could do damage. That's just my thoughts, bro.
Now, here was a question a man, Wild Bill, put out there. He said that where would you be with Tyreek Hill, in your opinion? I mean, Tyreek Hill is still ultra talented. He dealt with a wrist injury all season. He got hurt in preseason that he needed surgery on, and he just waited and had surgery at the end of the year. So where would you be? The problem with Tyreek Hill is his contract, G. Is now you can get out of it. Don't get me wrong, but you can't get out of it in 2026. You'd have to keep him. Well, his cap hit in 2026 is $51 million. Now, I get it. You can restructure that and stretch it out, but I don't know how long the Steelers would want Tyreek Hill to be in the fold. I just don't know. Now, because the thing about it is he's got some void years after, 27, 28, 29. So he could void it. But 2026, you got to eat that unless you extend it. $51 million is too much to deal with for, at the time, he'll be a 32-year-old. I don't see him necessarily slowing down, but I don't know. I just, for that amount of money for a wide receiver, I don't think so. I think that's asking too much.
Yeah, damn for sure ain't slowed down. He ran a 10-1 the other day warming up. I saw the video. That boy is alley cat fast. So he's fast as all get up now. And B, Tyreek Hill, DK Metcalf, Pat Freiermuth, Mount Washington, Jalen Warren, and Caleb Johnson with Rodgers? Boy, man, I don't know. Listen, that's going to cause problems. But, man, that's like in Fantasyland. The Steelers, I'm not going to say they wouldn't do it because I never in a million years thought we'd get DK Metcalf.
Right.
But to get Tyreek, woo, man, boy.
I mean, you'd have to have Miami take some of that money, take some of that burden. You'd have to tell them, look, we'll make the trade and we'll take half, but you got to deal with the other. We're not eating all of this. Wild Bill asked another, would we be contenders? Damn right we would be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If TJ Watt's in the fold, which he's going to be in the fold, you add Tyreek Hill to what we currently have, yes. Now, the offensive line still got to play. Don't get me wrong. The offensive line still, I don't care how many weapons we have. If the offensive line is garbage, we'll be garbage. Those are just the facts. But if the offensive line is average to above average, even just right now, the Steelers are going to be good. You throw in that, so it's crazy. But $51 million cap hit that's asking a lot.
That's a lot of bread, bro.
That's asking a lot. I don't know. I'd love to have them, but just not at that price. Not at that price. That's a fourth of your cap for one guy. Yeah. That's just not.
You're out there looking like the diabolical Cincinnati Bengals. But don't get me started, man. They all that money and all that, man. I know. I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not doing that. So yeah.
So, but I still believe that Omar Khan's still got to be aggressive. I still believe that there's moves out there to be made to upgrade this current roster that we can be better than what we are. That we still have to be able to do that. There's moves to be made, and the Steelers can. And again, they can do all of it without sacrificing their future, and that's the key for me. As long as you're not sacrificing your future, then go for it. Go jump at it. But if you're going to be sacrificing your future, G, to go for it for 1 year, that doesn't make sense. Not when you've set yourself up with all these draft picks to do a lot of damage, to basically rebuild your roster. Because that's what we have the draft picks for. Obviously a corner or a quarterback, but corner, wide receiver, more offense and defensive line. I mean, we have a plethora of things that we can still upgrade on this football team. So that's what we're set up for. I like it.
B, I think they're holding on to draft picks because they're not sure about Joey Porter Jr. and Jones. I really do think that. I think they're holding on to it because they got to see if Joey Porter Jr. and Jones are worth the extended deal, and maybe even Keanu Benton. I think that's why they're holding on to it, bro, because they're not sure yet. They got to see more out of them, man. So I get it. I get it. But if Jones hits, JPJ hits, Keanu Benton hits, oh, man, come on, man. Let's go get the pieces.
Absolutely.
Let's go get the pieces, and let's try to win, man.
Yeah, nope, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. So, all right, moving on. Last segment of the evening here. We are going to be talking, look, the 2026 college football. That's what we keep talking about, building up to quarterbacks. What are we going to do in 2026? Now that we know that Aaron Rodgers, this is his last year, there have been so many Steeler fans that are on the Will Howard bandwagon. And I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is healthy this year, Will Howard's not going to play a snap. So that's number
facts.
one. And number two, even if he did, something catastrophic happen. I mean, Will Howard's the third quarterback this year, people. He's not the backup. So let's not have any illusions like he's the backup quarterback. He isn't. And I just want people to temper their expectations on this because I get it. He reminds people of Ben Roethlisberger. You know, he's tall. He's big. He wants to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. It's all he's talked about. He's a good guy. I understand all of that. But at the same time, he was still a 6th-round pick. And please don't even bother me or G or anybody else with, well, Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. Hey, man, okay. That was a once-in-a-lifetime type of deal. Well, what about Brock Purdy? Okay, same thing. Don't bother us with that kind of stuff. Do we want Will Howard to be good? Yes. Do we want him to be great? Yes. But let's just have some actual real expectations. And since we do, the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be drafting a quarterback high next year. Now, granted, somebody asked earlier, well, do we know that for sure? No, of course we don't know 100%. But it would only make sense for the Steelers to try to get their franchise quarterback and not just say, hey, let's just wait for a 6th-rounder and hopefully that guy's the franchise quarterback when we have access to other quarterbacks to draft earlier that could be better. So that would be the move. So we're going to bring it up as far as who these quarterbacks are. Top 5 quarterback. And again, this is way early. Y'all know how this thing works. It's going to change probably 10 times between now and draft day. Yeah. But we are going to go from 5 to 1 as far as who the top prospects are going to be for the NFL draft and who the Steelers very well may take. I'll go first.
Yes, sir.
Number 5, Taylon Green from Arkansas. I like him. I know you don't like him, G. I like him. He's got a good arm. He's athletic. He's in a good system that trains quarterbacks with Bobby Petrino, which means his mechanics are going to be very good by the time he gets to the professional ranks. Yeah. 2 years under Bobby Petrino, ask what that did for Lamar Jackson. That's all I'm going to say. A guy that had terrible mechanics but had an arm, understood how to play football, and what did that do? I mean, Lamar Jackson will tell you what Bobby Petrino did for him. I think this will be the same thing. I got him at number 5.
So listen, I can't hate on the kid because he plays in my alma mater, man. So I can't go Suey now. Come on, Suey. I can't hate on him, man. He's a hog. But I don't think that kid's my number 5. My number 5 is John Matter, quarterback, Oklahoma, transferred from Washington State University. The kid's going to throw the ball all over the freaking yard, bro. And then that Oklahoma offense, let me tell y'all something. Oklahoma is sneaky in the SEC to cause some damage this year. And they got a real deal NFL quarterback. That Matter kid, go back and watch film on him. He's not to be played with, bro. So I like him. I'm not dogging Jackson. I think Jackson might be 6 or 7. But starting where I'm talking about dudes that I know is going to play at the NFL level. That Matter kid is a dog at Oklahoma, be at number 5 for me.
Gotcha. So going at number 4, I have Cade Klubnik. Now, there's some people have him at number 1.
Yeah.
Look, I saw him get better, a hell of a lot better over the last 2 years because but I did see him in a couple of games last year where he still didn't look like, a guy that, okay, you put pressure on him and he got rattled.
Mm-hmm.
But Cade Klubnik has gotten a ton better. He's a really good quarterback. This is probably going to change. I think he'll be even higher when draft day comes around. But right now, I have Klubnik at number 4.
I like Klubnik. I got him higher on my list, but I got a guy that most people are high on right now, and they're saying that this kid might be the number 1. I got to see it, bro. That Garrett Nussmeier quarterback out of LSU, I mean, people are saying he's the number 1 overall pick. He's this, that, and this. He's got a coaching pedigree. His father is an actual quarterback coach. But I haven't seen him really take off at LSU. And, sometimes at LSU is fool's gold. The skill positions are so damn good that you like, man, this kid can't miss. And then he gets to the league and he looks trash. The only one they ever hit on was Joe Burrow. Like what Jaden Daniels too. I can't lie, Jaden Daniels. But he was ready to go from Arizona State University. And with him, those NFL wide receivers are gone. Both of his tackles are gone. We're going to see if Nussmeier can really play. And they got a hell of a schedule. But I still think that Nussmeier is going to be somewhere in the first round of the NFL draft for quarterback position this year coming up, 26.
Gotcha. So you got Nussmeier at number 4. I had Cade Klubnik at number 4. At number 3, I've got Sam Leavitt, Arizona State. Sam Leavitt is a guy. Now a lot of people are talking about I'm looking in the chat. They're saying that the picks aren't showing up on the graphic.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at at Sam Leavitt about how much better he got over time, how much better Sam Leavitt got from the beginning of the year last year to this year. He played with Cam Scatterboo. I totally understand. Cam Scatterboo was a star, but that team, they only lost 1 game. I guess technically 2 games that Sam Leavitt was playing. He's that guy. He is that good. He's going to be better. I'm really interested to see him play this year without Cam Scatterboo and what he can do. Now, he's got an NFL receiver of his own, too.
Facts.
Jordan Dyson. So,
he's a dog.
Yeah, he's got an NFL guy that he's going to be throwing the football to himself. But I like Sam Leavitt. I think he's really, really good, and I got him 3rd on my list.
B, man, this is where it got diabolical backstage, man. Because listen, I'm going to tell you, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, you Yenzies right now, I'm going to tell you, this is the guy who I want the Steelers to draft in 2026. I want Lenoris Sellers, quarterback, South Carolina University, man. He's a dog, B. He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a killer. And I think you're going to see the development from Lenoris Sellers jump from last year. Because remember, last year was his first year starting. He was a redshirt freshman last year. He had never played a down in college football. He had the talent. If he wouldn't have got hurt against LSU, they would have been in the college football playoff. Book it. They would have been in the college football playoff. Lenoris is that dude, bro. And so if he jumps this year, which I think he's going to jump, oh, man, look out. Look out. 6'4", 230, legit super athlete, and can throw. He can throw. He can throw. So I know this is where the hating state came from here. But I'm telling you, Pittsburgh Steelers Nation, trust G on this one, bro. I want Lenoris Sellers as my quarterback in 2025, bro. I want Lenoris Sellers.
The thing about Sellers, I like him, but I need to see that jump. And this is where I say things can always change. If his mechanics and his throwing style takes a huge leap, then I can see him being that guy, being that high. But if his mechanics don't improve, I'm looking at Anthony Richardson all over again. Great athlete, cannon for an arm, but can't complete a 5-yard slant. That's just not what I'm looking for. But again, that's why I say these things can change a ton from now until then. And if he can improve that, look out, because you talk about athleticism, G, you're right. I mean, he might be the best athlete in the entire draft next year. That's how much of an athlete this guy is. So I love it. I love it. Moving on. Number 2 on my list, I have Drew Aller out of Penn State. He's got everything. He's got everything you want. He's got a great arm. He's been pretty accurate, real accurate. He's made a huge leap from his freshman year to now. I like his game. I like what he brings to the table. I wish, and now Penn State got a new offensive coordinator, because that was part of the things that held him back. Get an offensive coordinator with a creative mind out there. And now they got one. So Drew Aller, number 2 on my list. I really, really like that kid out of Penn State. He's real good.
Drew Aller got a number 1 wide receiver, too. You better look out for Drew Aller and them to cause problems in the Big Ten and for the national championship. They for real, bro. They for real over there. But my number 2, man, is Cade Klubnik, man. I think that I could see Cade Klubnik being in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform. And I think that Clemson is going to jump as a team in totality. So this is the year for Cade Klubnik to make money, right? And I think, really, to be honest, I like Trevor Lawrence. I like Deshaun Watson before he got to Houston, and he just started doing some diabolical stuff. I can't say it on air what he was doing, but it was just diabolical, right? But I think Klubnik, man, got a shot to be just as good or better than both of those guys, bro. Cade Klubnik is the real deal. I saw him play because when Austin, Texas, in high school, he went to Westlake High School down in Austin, and they're the pedigree for producing super quarterbacks out of there is unreal, including guys like Drew Brees and all whatever else out of Westlake, man. Cade Klubnik is the real deal, bro, and he ain't scared of nothing. He can run, pass, throw, and he's accurate. So I think Klubnik is going to make a big jump too, man, for next year, man.
We got a fan, Jay's Upper Teeth, with the super chat. Thanks for supporting the channel. He says Sellers had a 75-yard TD run. He's also a dog. Yeah.
He's a dog. He's a dog. He's a dog. We need that dude, bro. We need him.
We'll see. Let's just see if he can make that jump, man. Let's see if he can make that jump. Number 1 on my list, I got Garrett Nussmeier. I like everything about him. He's got enough athleticism. He's got a cannon. He's accurate. I like him. Now, you're all right. NFL receivers gone. But, LSU kind of produces those guys. NFL tackles gone. Okay, we'll see how they bounce back from that. LSU seems to be a recruiting factory, so getting good offensive linemen has never really been their problem. So they just need guys that are functional out there. So we'll see how good he is, but I think he is that good. Number 1 now, hell, this might be different after week 2 of the college football season. You know how this thing changes. But for me, it's Garrett Nussmeier. That would be the top guy. Now, granted, I have him number 1. I don't think the Steelers could get up to number 1. But in this order, this is what I think the Steelers could go at on their list. How high they can get and what teams actually need a quarterback and all that's going to change, and we'll get it all figured out during the season. And then, when the draft comes. But as of right now, this is where I'm at.
B, I want to put preference on our list as well. Arch Manning is not on either one of our lists because I think both of us believe that Arch Manning's not coming out next year. So for all those Steeler fans, where's Arch Manning? I don't think Arch Manning – the only way Arch Manning is coming out is if they win the national championship and he wins the Heisman. At that point, he's got nothing else to prove. But I think Arch Manning is coming back for one more because he's only started 5 games in college. He's not done nothing.
Nope.
So I think Arch Manning is off the list for me. So my number 1 quarterback is Drew Aller. Drew Aller, man, has got an NFL wide receiver finally over in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A new offensive coordinator finally over, not in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but in College Station, Pennsylvania.
Happy Valley.
And Happy Valley. Yeah, y'all said College Station. That's Texas A&M. But Happy Valley in Pennsylvania. And he's finally got a coach that I think stopped going to be scared and let him throw the ball. I mean, it was like last year, it was Warren or nothing. Like, bro, you can't win like that on the collegiate level. So I think for Penn State to be effective, Aller's got to show he can throw the ball all over the yard. And he's sure enough got the pedigree and the arm strength. Now, like you said, too, could the Steelers move up to get Aller? If they designate that they want him, they could. I mean, he played at Penn State. He's an Ohio kid out of Cleveland. He's got the size, the strength, and you talk about being an athlete. He's an athlete, too. He can run. So I like Aller at this stage, but like you said, B, the list could change. We could have 2 or 3 guys jump on the list that we didn't even see coming to be able to play in this 2025. And I left that Arizona State kid off my list, but I think Levitt might be able to jump up and take somebody's spot maybe by week 1 or week 2 of the college football season.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually looking forward to college football. I always look forward to college football, but it'll be interesting to see what we got here. Our man Awareness has put a super chat into the kitty. Thanks for supporting the channel. He's a Penn State guy, Drew. He's a Penn State guy.
Oh, Drew, I'm a dog now. He's a dog now. He's a dog.
A lot of mixed people there as far as who people like, who people want, all that good stuff. I like it. So it'll be interesting. Like I said, where the Steelers move up to, where they get to pick, we're going to find out a lot as far as that is concerned.
I'm going to get you on the Lenore Sellers train, bro. I'm telling you, I'm gonna work my way over there. I'm going to work my way over there, bro.
I'm not on the Sellers train. I just need to see more. That's all. I just need to see a lot more. You know, he's a good football player. There is no doubt. I just need to see his throwing mechanics and throwing motion. I just need to see better because there's no doubt the athleticism and the cannon is there. Now, can he have some touch? You know, can he do all those other things that we need? So we'll see. Looks like my man, Zay Curry. How's it going? Hope you're having a good night. In the chat, we are. Thank you, Zay Curry. We appreciate you showing up like you always do, man. Appreciate you. But now, ladies and gentlemen, here we have entered the portion of the show, the producer's question. You know, the last couple of weeks, and for people that don't know, every week producer comes out with the question we haven't seen. He throws it out there, and we answer it. It gets sticky and messy from time to time, but the last couple of weeks, G, it's been pretty good.
It's been outstanding. It's been outstanding. I'm going to give the producer 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. It's been outstanding the last few weeks, man. So don't blow it, executive producer. Don't blow it this week. Yeah. Let's see what the question is and what we got, man.
And let's see. Because that's been the problem is that, you know, we jinx him. We give him the thumbs up. Then he comes up with some BS out there for the question. So let's see what's happening. Okay. You have to sign one of these QBs for 2026. No draft picks, no trades, just free agency or street signings. You must win 9 games or take a whole bottle of Thunderbird to the head. First of all, that's asking the chat a lot because they'll just miss on all of it just to take the shot of Thunderbird to the head. But either way, who do you choose? A, and again, this is for 2026. Kirk Cousins, still solid but aging. Mobility declining. B, Justin Fields, athletic, inconsistent, but still young. Will he still be young after 5 years? I don't know. C, Sam Darnold, flashes when surrounded by talent, otherwise inconsistent. And D, Jacoby Brissett, safe, smart, but no explosive upside. Lord have mercy. Wild Bill. I love Wild Bill didn't mess around. He just said drink. And I told you, but you know what, Wild Bill? I think I'm with you. I'll just take Thunderbird to the head because I don't want none of these. I don't want none of these options. Justin Fields can't read a defense. Kirk Cousins, throw me an interception, Cousins. Sam Darnold, Mr. Anytime there's big game pressure, I fold like a pretzel, kind of like Kirk Cousins. And Jacoby Brissett is Charlie Batch. Just a backup quarterback. And I don't even know if he's Charlie Batch because I don't think he's solid. Where Charlie Batch was at least solid, Brissett is not. I don't know, G. What do you think?
I'm telling you right off the bat, I'm getting lit.
Yeah, the producer did it, didn't he? He threw that BS in there. He threw that BS question. We knew it.
He done smoked the question, man. I'm gonna be toe up from the flow up. I'm drinking Quavo. I'm drinking Thunderbird. I'm drinking Old English. I'm drinking Colt 45. I'm toe up because ain't no way in hell I'm taking none of them. I listen. If I gotta choose from that list, it's over. I'm gonna have to be drunk the entire 2026 season because that list is diabolical. I cannot take none of those dudes over there, bro. I mean, the best choice might be Sam Darnold, but I'm not paying him what they just paid him in Seattle. That was foolish. So Brissett, no. Justin, hell no. Kirk Cousins, double hell no. I don't want nobody on that list, bro. So pass to Cavassier. pass to Cavassier. I'm getting toe up. If that's my options, get them dudes out of there. I'm not taking that, bro. Go and give me the bottle, bro. Go and give me the bottle. I'm not doing it.
Yep. See, the chat is spoken to. They're like, see, thanks, producer. See, I told y'all. I told you, G, you jinxed it. You gave him two thumbs up.
I did.
And then we get this nonsense. Now we got the chat is drunk. The chat is drunk. Look, Arch Baby Doll was leaving. And by the way, thank you for showing up, Arch Baby Doll. She even came in, give me the Thunderbird. See, the whole chat is like, no, we're just drinking. You have a good night, Arch Baby Doll. Thank you again.
Absolutely.
The chat is saying, nope, I'm taking it to the head. Just Thunderbird to the head. Look at my man, Wild Bill. If we get one of them, it will be Thunderbird all year anyway. See? Yeah. Exactly. You gave him too much credit. Now look at the chat. The chat's drunk. The chat is talking about Thunderbird. The chat is talking about Cuervo and E&J mixed together. Or you remember Mike Tomlin at the owners meeting? Remember how he was sweating? You know, that's what you got the chat. Chat in here sweating off drinking all night, all because of this question. Yeah, man, I would just take the Thunderbird because this is terrible. I don't want none of these options. If I had to take one, if you said you have to take one, I guess I would sign. I would sign Darnold before I sign Fields.
Yeah, man.
I've seen Darnold at least have success. I haven't seen Justin Fields have any success.
Yeah,
I have not seen that. I've at least seen Darnold have some. Fields is not. So that's what I would do.
Hey, B, you ever seen the movie Iron Man where Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross was sitting at the end of the Incredible Hulk and he put the drink down and he said, reload. And he didn't say reload. And he said it down again, reload. And said, listen, I'm reloading. I'm reloading till I pass out. And then when I wake up in my right mind, I'm going to look at this question again, reload. Reload. I'm going all the way out. Bro, because I wouldn't be able to take it, bro. I wouldn't be able to make it through 2026 with this list, bro. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way.
See, but you know what? That's why I love the chat because they will turn on you in a minute. They have turned on the producer talking about he needs to take a shot. Is he related to Tomlin? Because we're out here sweating. Mr. Lonzo Dunn saying we're calling in sick. Everybody can't take it. So it is just woo. Yeah, it's brutal. This is a brutal one. This one was ugly. This one was ugly, people. I'll admit this one was ugly. But fun. Oh, my God. Rob said, I prefer Hennessy. But, hey, pass me the fun. I mean, see, that's what I'm talking about. When somebody is drinking something like Hennessy, G, and they say, you know what, I prefer Hennessy, but damn it, just pass the Thunderbird. You know it's a wild question or it's been a wild night. Because this man gave up Hennessy to take Thunderbird. Lord, have mercy.
Reload. Reload. We're gonna get some shirts. We're gonna get some shirts that say Almighty, reload. Almighty, reload. Almighty, reload. We're gonna get some shirts that say that. Reload. Reload.
That is funny, man. That is funny. Well, hey, man, we appreciate you all showing up tonight. I know it's the dead period. I know there's or really nothing craziness going on right now. So thank you guys for all y'all support and showing up tonight for the big show, man. We absolutely appreciate you guys. A couple of things. Remember, you can become a member. Memberships are about to change, people. I just want to let you guys know that. So all of you guys that are in here that are members, you are going to have to sign up again to become a member because it's going to kick you out once we update our system and our stuff, which again, our updates are going to be in your favor. They're going to kick you out. You got to come back in and sign up again. So make sure you please do that, because all the changes that we are going to make are going to be in your favor. So make sure that you understand and you do that. Again, I got my shirt. Steelers Almighty merch is in. Make sure y'all get it. I saw somebody with an idea in the chat. I want to talk to the fellas about that. So we're going to do that. So make sure you go to Steelers Almighty shop. Go pick you up your merch. Go get your mug, your T-shirt, your hat, all that good stuff out there. G, let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Every week you can find me Tuesday on The Big Show with my boy Big B. And the executive producer got us drinking Thunderbird and getting twisted about a question for sure right off the back. So I'm here. But I got an announcement for y'all. Did you guys that watch me on the other channels, okay? All the services now, including the Pump Your Brakes podcast that was on Steel Curtain Network, is now going to be broadcasted live on the KnoItAllz channel. So all the shows that I'm on, you're going to be able to go to the KnoItAllz channel and watch every last one of those shows. Doesn't matter if it's on Steel Curtain Network. You can go directly to the KnoItAllz channel and watch Pump Your Brakes, Smash the Gas, the Homies Overtime, and the KnoItAllz Show. Every week, they'll all be broadcasted on YouTube on the KnoItAllz channel. So we worked that deal out with those folks over there at Steel Curtain Network. So go to the KnoItAllz channel, subscribe, because now you can get Pump Your Brakes and the other shows that I'm on Steel Curtain Network live on YouTube on the KnoItAllz channel. So I'll be over there tomorrow, start kicking it off with Smash the Gas with Curb and Take Boy Fresh. Right afterwards, I'll be on Pump Your Brakes with Shannon and Triple OG and Take Boy. And they're all going to be broadcasted live now moving forward on the KnoItAllz Podcast channel.
Love it, man. Absolutely love it. So, again, I appreciate everybody for being in here. Do me this favor. Click on the like button once this video is over. Want as many people to be able to see the big show as possible. Leave a comment. Also, let us know what you like, what you dislike. We appreciate everybody out there. We'll be live. Steelers Almighty. We'll be back live again on Thursday morning at 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Make sure you guys show up if you can. Until next time, love you guys and aloha.